South Africa and Kenya have delivered some awesome wildlife spectacles over the course of the last few drives. Let's take a look. This is Safari Catch Up.
Wow, we have just enjoyed the most magnificent sunrise. It's been coming up in the distance there. You can see that ball of fire getting higher and higher, and it's been incredible from when we first started the show and the clouds were sort of lit up, and then that started to fade, and then it started to concentrate in this spot, the color, of course, where the sun was actually going to rise. And there's quite a thick bank of clouds, so I'm not sure what's going to happen once it gets a little bit higher up, but that is just beautiful. We, of course, have no idea what the day is going to have in store for us. It's also lovely to just sit here. We've parked next to a big open area, and to see it getting lighter and lighter. And you never know what might pop out. Listening to all the beautiful bird calls, some European bee-eaters around, some scrub robins, as well as the rufous-naped lark that was calling earlier.
It is the Cape buffalo. This is probably the smallest herd of buffalo that I've ever seen in the Sabi Sands. All the occasions where I've seen buffalo, there's been these massive, large herds, numbers of 200 plus. Now, they're feeding. They are feeding on this cut line between Chitwa and one of the properties on the north, and obviously nice green grass has been found here. Ron, no, I mean, I would say their front teeth could be very similar to our teeth. I wouldn't say their entire dental structure. Maybe their back teeth, the back teeth and the front teeth could be very, very similar. I mean, if you've seen when they phlegm and grimace, it almost looks like they're smiling at us.
Very socio primate. Amongst all the baboons I think we got in Africa, the olives are the most social ones, and early morning is always a very important time before they disperse and they go foraging. You can see the females with the red bottoms. That tells them, apart from the males, apart from being small in size than the males, you can see those two there. And again, that's another female. I got a feeling she's in estrus, and most of these males are not interested. Maybe she's taking now her baby. Now the one grooming looks to be pretty young than the other one. Act the tail up. But what I've never understood, any parasite they get, they feed on it. And I've always thought, because baboons got fingers, they like move one far after the other, very slowly, very strategically. And just look at the other one, it's so still. And I usually think as also they remove the parasite, they also tend to massage the same area.
We thought we'd show you a nice close-up of a foam nest for the foam nest frogs. And as I say that, there's a pair of them off to our right going crazy. Maybe they think we're trying to predate on their nests. Now what we're seeing here is quite a unique thing. The foam nest frog is a tree frog. It's the grey tree frog. And the female secretes the sticky liquid while there's a male on her back. And both of them with their legs kick and churn that sticky liquid forming this big foamy, it's almost like meringue. Becomes quite hard, quite crusty, like a meringue, and it serves to protect the eggs. Now, the eggs will be laid inside. Almost 1,000 or so can be laid inside, and the eggs hatch, and they then form tadpoles inside the foam, who then wriggle themselves out and drop into the water. Now, importantly, these foam nests need to be constructed above bodies of water that are going to be there when the tadpoles emerge. Otherwise, they're going to land on the dry land and they will not survive. So this is a protection mechanism. There's a lot of predation that happens in water to frogs' eggs, and this is a protection mechanism against that. And it's quite unique in the frog world.
Hello everybody, wow, this has been such a cool sighting. We've almost got bombed by this bee eater right now, but I'm not complaining because it's catching the flies that were bothering us, BK. It's been incredible to just be sitting here. It keeps coming back to the same stick, which is typical for bee eaters to do, and there's definitely a few flies for it to grab that are buzzing around our heads. It's looking all the time for the next opportunity. And you can see all the details of the color. Lots of green, of course, on the back, but that lovely yellow throat. And the black line through the eye, which sort of extends straight from the beak. And then there's a tiny bit of blue, we call it eyeshadow, just above the eye. That is also so pretty when you have a chance. You see how it followed there? That was very cool. Oh, it went for something. It'll be back. There we go. There, ooh, look at that.
That is true love. The male gave the female some breakfast. And in the background, we can hear some grey-crowned cranes. But on camera, we got the southern ground hornbills. These birds are very territorial, and they're the largest ground hornbills that we know of here in Africa, spending most of the time on the ground, as their name suggests. Very monogamous birds, and of course definitely hunting. In general, after mating, the females will lay 2 eggs, and they tend to nest in big holes, from tree trunks. And after laying 2 eggs, in general, only one will survive, and takes such a long time to reach a sexual maturity, going 3, 4, 5 years.
We have stopped for what looks to be a violet-backed starling that's waking up, or it's a youngster, or maybe it's just ruffled up from the night and is sort of drying off and sorting out its feathers and all the rest of it. That's why it's not looking as violet-y at the moment. There's also not any direct sun right now, so that could also mean that it's a little bit duller. But it's definitely the male violet-backed starling. Females look completely different from the male. Oh, Arnold, it really does vary from species to species. With the smaller birds, they start to grow their feathers, well, the artificial, the ones that are in nests, almost immediately. There's that stimulation of growth, and within a week or two they'll be, covered. And then molting can happen. Sometimes there's multiple molts that happen within months to years of life, depending. If you think of the birds of prey, for example, fish eagles, battaliers, martial eagles, that take multiple molting. So it really does depend.
Welcome to the high points of Sandringham. Coming up to a road I haven't been on before, which is named after the giraffe. And I wonder how they came about that name. Got a group of about 5 here. 5, there's 3 here and 2 just further behind. Busy feeding. Peaceful scenes. Stella, I'd love to know the objective of your question. If something is lethal, that's lethal, right? So which one's going to be more lethal? It kind of defeats the objective of asking whether something can kill you. Which will kill you more? A giraffe kick or a giraffe neck? You're going to die regardless, so does it matter? And these animals are big. I don't know if you've ever been pushed by your dog, if you've got a dog. A dog can push very hard. Dogs have the potential to even break people's legs if they push hard enough. That's a small animal.
My goodness me. When I say it echoed throughout the entire Mulwati, it echoed throughout the entire Mulwati. The floor of this car was shaking. That was very loud. And now he's exhausted. This poor boy. No, my goodness, what is going on over there? Oh, you're going to pick up? No ways. We literally came through that crossing. I did not know Mom was there. Oh my goodness, isn't that a kid? That's so adorable. Mom carrying a baby. No. Don't go away. Look at this. And they're making noise. Oh, here comes Mom. Oh, no ways.
Now here, we've come across one of the males, one of the 4 brothers that are in control of the Sopa Pride and also the Sand River Pride. So from here, it's about 3 kilometers away from where we saw the last kill yesterday. And it seems like the lionesses split off and then they came and took down a buffalo again. So there's 2 kills, less than 24 hours. So this happened about this morning. And I'm told that there was a big pride around here. All the lionesses were around here and this male was present here. And I think he's the one who's guarding the kill. You can see he's panting heavily because his stomach is working like an engine now. He's been eating. I can see how big his belly is. So he wants to probably go for a drink, but with the sign of vultures coming around, he cannot be able to leave this. He's either looking for a spot. Look at that bush there. Is not enough to create shade for him. You can tell he wants to go for shade, but no place to cover.
These are some naughty little cubs. This mother has got her job cut out for her. But, so basically what happened was we came down this little road where they are, and she's now carrying them back to where she wants them to go. But yeah, Gabby, indeed she is. She's managing very, very, very busy toddlers that they don't listen. She tells them, let's go this way, they go the other way. Sure. How lucky. How very, very lucky we are to be able to see what we see here.
Look at what we have. One of the males from the Sand River Pride, and he's on a buffalo kill. So this one has a dark mane. The one that we saw in the morning had a blondie mane. So I'm yet to see the two other that are in this pride. So it's always 4. Within 24 hours, we've been able to see 2 kills. Rather 3 kills. So here around the Sand River area, we've seen yesterday the lions eating a buffalo, and there was a bit of a scuffle. The lionesses went into a fight, and then back near Nkewa camp, we saw the Super Pride who had a zebra kill, and now here, back again, the Sand River Pride have taken down another buffalo. Look at how he's stained on blood on his mouth there.
I saw this female from a long way, and I was asking Edwin, that looks like a lioness. And Edwin was saying, Edwin is on camera, no, that looks like a hartebeest. But then I told him, well, hartebeests, will always have horns, and from what I can see, I don't think she got any horns. I'm trying to imagine possibly this could be the girl called Kaleo, and if so, she is one member from the Marsh Pride. She has walked a lot, and even from where we saw her yesterday with her 2 cubs, and the last place I'd seen her was another 8 kilometers. Not sure why she has to keep moving and changing her den, but of course one reason is clear: food will make that important call for this particular female.
Well, we've been here long enough that we are able to tell you that both nests on the left have got females. They both just arrived. I don't know, they were probably off feeding, and they now come back to probably incubate. But they both arrived. Not much fanfare from him. He seemed quite confident of them arriving back, or comfortable. Each of them, both of them at the exact same time actually, arrived, went in, and have not come out. But we know that the females will lay the eggs. Oh, her head's sticking out. There we go. Hello. What's she gonna do? So the first egg will be laid, and she'll start immediately incubating. She spends close to 60% of the day incubating. If someone sat around and measured this with bouts of 7 minutes in the nest and 4.8 minutes out of the nest. This was a study done with 306 different nests.
So we have a few of the remainder of the African buffalo, or the Savannah Cape buffalo, that we have around here. Probably this is one of the team that lost the member it's not far from where we saw the lions, and look at how they're looking at this direction. Looks like they know the lions are probably where we're coming from, because it's just behind us, and they're very alert. They want to go and drink, and probably where they're going for a drink, the lions are just laying next to the watering hole there. So it's not a good idea. Look at the size of this guy's horn. Big horn. They're all watching that direction. You can see they've picked up the scent, and the wind is strongly blowing to their noses. Very interesting.
Oh, we found some mushrooms growing out of elephant dung. Now, what are mushrooms? Mushrooms are the fruiting body of a fungus. Yes, that's right. There's a little one popping out right over here. It's a brand new little one. And as they come out and grow, they'll get to the point where they then form an open mushroom, and then once they've distributed their spores, which drop out of the bottom of the mushroom body, then the spores, which are the reproductives, then move off and the cycle is complete. But essentially, what's happening here is it's the mycelium, the fungus, growing through the substrate that's actually breaking down this organic material. These mushrooms that we see, these fruiting bodies, really aren't doing anything other than reproducing and sending the babies of the fungus onwards to new locations, new places. And the spores get picked up in the atmosphere, and they blow around and they move, and they can land elsewhere. But the objective of this mycelium, of this fungus itself, this is the actual fungus body here, is they're breaking down the dung and they're turning it back into soil.
The big male left the kill. Now one of the lioness has introduced two of her cubs to come and eat. So these cubs, we've not seen them, and it looks like this is a different lioness, because their stomach is still not as full compared to what we saw yesterday with the other lions and the cubs. Not sure the cub likes the taste of blood. You can see she moved off. Maybe try some other thing, but not blood. I'm used to milk, but not blood. They have the large intestine, and one of them is dragging, actually trying to practice the act of hunting. Oh, look at that, how they will fight also one day in the future. That wrestle also enhances the bond, also creates to build them a little bit of strength before they develop the skills to go hunting on their own. Early, these are just like our home kittens, our house kitten. Such a joy to see them playing this cat and mouse game, and also playing with that piece of intestine, trying to act like they are pulling down prey.
Oh, look at this. We've got a female lion lying in the mulwati here. As you can see, there's another female at the top who's also taking in a little bit of the surroundings. Now the bush where the cubs were, where the lady went in, actually behind us. I'm not too sure if it's if they are there. We'll have a little look now, but we've obviously just seen these two and thought, well, let's spend a little bit of time with them, seeing as we were sitting with a male who wasn't really interested in doing any form of movement other than rolling around.
Well, here he is. An impressive fellow. He's sprayed some mud on himself already. It's been a warm afternoon. It's starting to cool down now with the cloud cover from the high veld being a shroud for the sun. You actually see the large capillaries behind the ear when he flaps. Skin's very thin under there. See those large capillaries coming from behind the ear hole there. So someone's worked out 9 liters of blood a minute can go through the elephant's ear. So their whole body, all the blood through their body gets pumped through the ear, and that act of flapping cools it down. He just passed some wind there, you might have heard that. That had nothing to do with the flapping.
Look at these elephants here. They have a tiny calf, about a month old. Look at that matriarch. She's big. Look at the size of her tusk. The tiny calf probably has decided to drink, or what is she doing? Or probably plucking some grass. Wow, look at how cute that is. It's trying to practice using the trunk, but he's going for the wrong bush. Very hard. Go for the softer grass, boy. This is the art of learning, so he's trying to practice how to use the trunk. You can see the trunk is not really strong to peel whatever she's picking, but she's given up. Maybe try something else, maybe the grass which is soft there, or maybe go back to mom.
Well, our main man is now walking down the road towards us. He's coming to meet with the ladies. Hello, big boy. Was that necessary? My goodness me. That was now loud. I think he burst an eardrum. Oh goodness. My good sir. Is it nice and cool there? Is that why you decided to pop a squat?
The wilds of Africa are an inspiration. We hope this episode of Safari Catch Up gave you as much joy as it did us. We'll see you next time.